Do I need to go to a Christian college? Will I lose my faith in college? How much do I really need to study? Today, we're going to be talking about 3 frequently unanswered questions and 4 important pieces of advice for college students. Hey friends, welcome to the very first episode of Called and Unqualified, a Create, Worship, Inspire video series. So my name is Brenna, and today my qualifications are, I'm a college student. And even though I haven't finished my first degree, I can share with you some of the questions that I had before going into college and some of the important things that helped me make it through my first couple of years of college. I truly believe that maturity isn't what you've been through, but how you've used those experiences to help you grow and gain wisdom. So for those of you that don't know already, I study law, religious studies, and Middle Eastern studies at a university in California. Traditionally, California universities are known for not wanting Jesus or any kind of spirituality in the classroom, but I think that this is really changing. My university especially, instead of not wanting any faith at all, they encourage all students to practice everything. And if you don't practice or aren't open to practicing everything, you're labeled as closed-minded. Both of these extremes can be pretty harmful because they both give off the underlying message that you can't be a Christian and be in college. It pretty much teaches you that if you believe in Jesus and that He is the only truth, your worldview needs to be fixed. So today I want to talk about 3 frequently unanswered questions for Christians who are in college or going into college. So especially with the reputation of a lot of other secular universities in California, one of my main questions that I had in high school was, do I need to go to a Christian college? And so to that I would strongly advise no. And this is not because Christian universities are bad. I think Christian universities are great, especially if you want to go into ministry or have a specialized degree. But unless you want one of those things, I would advise to not go to a Christian college. Of course, there's other things when deciding a college that you want to go to, like scholarship money and location, but unless all of these things are pretty much the same, I would strongly advise going to a university that is not Christian. So a common phrase that I hear about college is that college is a time to experiment, and I really disagree with this statement because this gives the implication that everything new that you come across, you are going to try, and I really don't think that that is a wise idea. Instead, I would say that college is a time to expose yourself to different ways of life and different worldviews. So even though you are aware that other people try or live that way, you yourself don't have to, but you learn how to live with other people that live that way. If you go to a Christian college, there's going to be the temptation for other people to do your thinking for you. Yeah, you're still going to be exposed to ideas that you haven't thought of before or people who think differently than you do, but it's not going to be nearly as extreme and it's not going to be as diverse. If you instead go to a secular university, this is a great place for you to train yourself of how to stand up for what you believe instead of falling under the weight of opposition. You can practice making your faith your own, and this will make it stronger. Even if you go to a Christian university, most likely you're not all going to be working in a place where everybody thinks like you do. So you are eventually going to have to learn how to exist in a community of diverse thinkers without having everybody who thinks something different shake your world when they question something that you believe. Please don't rob yourself of this great time of growth. God uses opposition to make your faith stronger. And if the truth is way too fragile for it to fall apart once it's questioned, then that must not be the truth. If a professor's argument against your faith makes it completely shatter, then that must not be true. Jesus and the Bible are so much more true and solid than a classmate or professor's argument against it. So if you're going to a Christian college for something other than like a specialized degree, you are most likely afraid of losing your faith in college. But may I bring it to your attention that if you are using people around you to hold up your faith and make it stronger, you are most likely going to lose your faith whenever you graduate college. So as a question that is kind of related to this is, will I lose my faith in college? So here you are, you're in a secular university, and you are now a minority. So I went to a private Christian school for high school, and I feel like this was a really great opportunity that God used in my life because our teachers totally prepared us for college and how to defend our faith, but also how to research stuff for ourselves. They actually encouraged us to question almost everything that they claimed was true, just so we would have the skills to research something to find out if it was really true. Especially if you were going into any arts or humanities major, so anything with the word studies at the end. This is going to be a very opinionated area of study, and you need to be used to filtering through the truth and the opinions of what you're being taught. But in life in general, you are going to be exposed to something that you don't agree with, especially in your classrooms. So what's the solution to being taught opinion? You need the motivation and drive to do research for yourself outside of class with other materials. If your faith is really important to you, this is going to be just like any other relationship or any other friend that you have in high school. If you let them go, if you stop spending time with them, you're going to grow distant and you're going to grow apart. So if your faith is important to you, you are going to schedule time to research and you are going to schedule time to stay connected in your faith. Another great way for doing research is to surround yourself with other people. Be a part of a community of people that love Jesus and also want to know the truth. If your doubts go unanswered, this is really where the enemy can get in and start to tear apart your faith. So if you have yourself surrounded with a community, especially other people who are where you are, this is a great way for you to stay accountable, but also have a conversation. A huge temptation for a lot of college students is that they're just going to focus on school for the next 4 years and they're going to shove their faith to the side. If you do this, your faith will almost for sure die in the next 4 years before you get your diploma. And so that leads into the very last question. How much do I really need to study? So your whole life, even as an adult out of college, is going to be about balance. You, like every other student, are soon going to realize that you only have so many hours in the day to get everything that you need to get done. The way you spend your time is going to really reflect what's important to you. Studying, especially while you're in college, is incredibly important, but college is the time to prepare you for your future. So if you're only studying, you are going to suffer in relationships. But college is the time to prepare you for your future. So you also need to spend time building relationships, building your faith, and growing in other ways that are not only academic. You also need to take care of your health and follow the plan that God has for you. Yes, you have to study, but don't burn yourself out. You're a human and you have many needs. You need to glorify God in everything you do. So yes, this means working hard in your classes, but also this means not attaching your worth to your performance because you are so much more valuable than that. Just because you're not getting as much done as you feel like you should or like other people that you see around you doesn't mean that you're a failure. It also doesn't mean that you're worthless. God has a unique plan for you also, even if it doesn't look like your friends. That just means that there are other unique ways that He's going to use you. So to maintain this balance, I wanted to share 4 things that helped me maintain my faith and balance while in college. The first one is time management. Time management is super important to make sure that you get everything done. The things that have helped me the most have been especially Google Calendar to make sure that I have everything, but also keeping a print planner. When I started using a paper planner, it was a lot easier to make sure that I had time to plan out my entire week to see when I needed to get everything done. So if I needed to move something around to make time for a friend, it was a lot easier to make time. And if you don't get anything else from this video, please take this with you. The biggest thing that you need to do in college is make time for rest. This is the most important thing to schedule and also just to make a habit. What helped me most my first semester of college was to schedule a whole day of the week just for rest. And rest doesn't mean doing nothing and staying idle. Instead, this should be a time that you carve out to do things that give you joy that are not connected to work or school. For example, when I would rest, I would usually do it on a Sunday, so it was right before the whole week and I could just recharge. And I would usually read a book that I really liked, spend time with friends, go to church, just take it easy all day. So in Mark 2:27, Jesus said that God made the Sabbath for man and not man for the Sabbath. So this means that it's not a law anymore that we keep the Sabbath day, but it also means that God created us to rest. God created a day for us to stop working and recharge. So the third thing of advice that I had for you was more about in the classroom, but it's be prepared for opposition, but don't be paranoid and view everybody as the enemy. Like I mentioned earlier, you are for sure going to run into somebody who does not think like you do. Even within your own faith, there is going to be a difference of opinion, especially on politics and ways that people should live. Christians are not going to agree on every issue, even if to you it seems like the biblical position is pretty obvious. So please be aware that you are going to have professors that don't agree with most of what you have to say. However, do not view people as the enemy, especially the ones that disagree with you. I feel like this is a mistake that I made during my first year of college, because I learned even professors and especially other students, even if you have starkly different beliefs, there's still something to learn from them. These are still people and God loves them, and there is worth in what they have to say. Instead, listen to them, but filter through what they say. You need to filter through the lies and the truth, especially in the classroom. But don't tune everything out just because it's coming from one person, because you might miss a way that God wants to humble you, or you might miss an opportunity to talk to them. I'm going to be pretty blunt, but if Jesus would listen to what they have to say, you need to listen to them too. And nobody could have corrected Jesus on anything, but we as broken humans always need to be corrected. And here's one of the ways that God can move in this situation. If you are kind and respectful to somebody that doesn't share your views, they may be surprised with the way that you treat them, and they may actually change their mind and hear what you have to say. This could be a time where you re-represent Christians or your political group. And in the same way, their reply and their kindness towards you could change your mind about their faith and their groups. And this was something that I honestly had to learn the hard way, but I've had a very wide range of professors that I have not agreed with for multiple reasons. The best thing that you can do is to be one of the hardest working students in their class and be a good representation. It's possible to be a diligent and respectful student without absorbing all of the information without question. And so this, friends, is why I want to share with you 1 Peter 3:15. Always be prepared to give a defense to everyone who asks you a reason for the hope that is in you, with meekness and fear. Another great quote that I heard is that your life may be the only version of the gospel that some people ever hear. So be prepared for opposition, but don't be paranoid and answer with meekness. And so the last thing that I wanted to talk about was the importance of community inside and outside of your faith. We all need communities to thrive, especially when we feel discouraged. We need people to talk to and people to just take our minds off of things that are weighing on us. Ecclesiastes 4:12 says, "A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken." If you feel tested or opposed in class, you need people as support so you don't feel alone on your campus. When I started college, it was really important to me to build community, especially a faith community, on campus. So during my first week of class, I made sure that me and my roommate, who is also a Christian, got involved with a Christian group on campus. And these people are honestly still some of my closest friends. So it's never too early or too late to start praying to God to give you community. Age is also really important for your community. It's really important that you surround yourself with people that are in your same stage of life, but also it's beneficial and healthy to be in contact with people who have survived what you've been through. So people that maybe went to your campus and still have their faith in Jesus. It is so beneficial to have wisdom from all areas and all stages of life. But if you have a strong spiritual community, don't steer away from making friends outside of your faith. Make friends that share other interests. Of course, be wise about the relationships that you're building, but remember that you are also a minister. Part of your job on your campus is to share Jesus with the people that don't know him yet. Matthew 28:19, written for you, says, "Go make disciples of all nations." And all nations starts with your campus. God has put you in this position of your life for a reason. God can use you to bring people to him. And this is your most rewarding and greatest calling as a college student. So I hope all of these things are going to help you survive this amazing and exciting time of transition. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. This episode is dedicated to the class of 2020, those that just got out of college, finished their PhDs, going into college. Congratulations to all of you. I hope you all continue to stay healthy and safe. Please leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, but also leave in the comments some advice that you have for other college students. Also, if you want to request a topic for a future video, leave that in the comments. See you next time. So I just wanted to remind you guys that this episode and this channel are sponsored by successatdaytrading.com. Go check them out. Looking for a quick, flexible way to supplement or replace income? Even if you're just starting out or looking to improve your day trading skills, successatdaytrading.com offers education, coaching, and software to help you reach your financial goals. No prior experience is required and no need to risk your own money. We'll train you to trade our money. Visit successatdaytrading.com.